Welcome to Toffee TV. Just gonna drink my cup of tea a minute. What a fine victory that was at Nottingham Forest today. Nottingham Forest 0, Everton 1. What a absolutely fantastic victory. Just so much sweeter, just so much sweeter because of those absolutely moronic songs that Nottingham fans seem to sing every time we play them, which is it's beautiful. It's beautiful when you can beat a team whose fans are absolutely, I want to say more, but absolute idiots. Um, there's absolutely nothing better. That was an absolutely fine away victory today. Probably made even sweeter by the contributions by players that I think a lot of us have written off. I thought Jack Harrison had a really good game, and obviously Decore scoring the goal, which was a really good finish as well, was beautiful. To do that in the 94th minute was just absolutely fantastic. I think a lot of people probably thought they should have been taken off, but Jack obviously did, and I thought he had a really good game. But listen, I thought from start to finish, I thought we were excellent. I thought we started the game brilliantly, and the only thing that was letting us down was really what was happening in the final third. We couldn't make it stick, and we just couldn't create enough chances. But we absolutely dominated the game. We give them absolutely nothing. They really didn't have any clear-cut chances. Their manager has massively panicked today with some of their players. Chris Wood, was he playing? He massively got it wrong today, and we have just controlled that game so much. We have controlled it perfectly for the entire game, and as I said, the only thing missing was just a little bit of composure in the final third. You know, Harrison's had a chance. Carlos Alcaraz has had a chance. Decore probably had chances before that. But we controlled the game so well. That's what was so nice to see today, how much we controlled the game. I mean, I know Forest don't like having a lot of possession, but the fact that they really did give us so much possession in this game was incredible. We've ended up with 58% possession, and we've controlled the game the whole way. They didn't really do anything. I think there was a couple of chances. They had one chance in the first half where Pickford's had to, batter out, and there's another chance where Adesanya Gay gave the ball away. Second half, well, he didn't give the ball away. He was out muscled, and they've broken. They've got a shot off, but that's no different to maybe 2 or 3 chances we've had during the game. And I thought it was going to be one of those games where either we're going to be sitting here getting a 0-0 and going, oh, another draw. We've that's a big opportunity. Or even worse, they were going to get some kind of late drama. Because obviously they were certainly pushing for stuff late on. But I thought defensively we were absolutely superb. I thought the midfield for the majority of the time had control. Harrison was always a threat, was always not a threat, but he worked so hard down the right that he was giving them something to think about all the time. And Jai, probably his final ball let him down, and he had a couple of really decent opportunities. One where I think it was a long ball by Tarkowski, and his first touch was brilliant, but his second touch just sort of took the ball away just a little bit away from him, so that by the time he got the shot off, he was a little bit more closely to the goalkeeper than he'd want to be. Set pieces again, they're driving me mad. I'll be honest, the set pieces are driving me mad. They're not good enough. They're not good enough, the set pieces. And I'll be honest, we should have had at least one penalty, and definitely maybe another foul as well. The one on Alcaraz, you're never going to see a more blatant body check than the one on Carlos Alcaraz, but that's the one where people just go, oh yeah, whatever, it's coming together. It's not really coming together, is it? He had no intention of playing the ball, and he took Alcaraz out. And the one on Beto is 100% a foul. The lad moves his leg towards Beto knowing exactly what he's doing. Once his leg is in between Beto's legs, he knows exactly what he's doing. Now, listen, that might have been outside the box, but it's 100% a foul. And those decisions, listen, people say we got a soft one last week. Well, that's the first soft one we've got for a very, very long time. They were either both penalties or certainly both fouls. It depends where they believe the foul is or whatever. But they were definitely fouls, both of them. And for us to not get them almost like reinforced in my mind that they were going to score a late goal, because that's what happens. But to get the win, and the goal itself, it's their corner, which we deal with. And then Idrissa Gana Gueye in the last minute of the game to be pressing that high, when really he could have just sort of let the centre-back toss it back in, but he hasn't. He's pressed it really high. And this is the thing about pressing, is that if you press one man and then there's another man pressing the ball where it goes, that's what's pressing supposed to look like. And the fact that he pressed so high, and then Dwight McNeil, who's just come onto the pitch, he presses as well, forces Murillo into the mistake. And then we've got Garner and Decore. And I know people don't necessarily like Decore, but that's exactly why the manager likes him, is because in the last minute of the game, he is still charging up the field, trying to make something happen. Now, Dwight McNeil's ball is either absolutely unbelievable or a little bit lucky. But let's say it's unbelievable. It's a fantastic ball. Where it finishes is absolutely perfect for Decore, because he doesn't have to break his stride. And that's the most important thing about this goal, is that Decore doesn't have to break his stride. He doesn't have to stop. He doesn't have to check. He doesn't have to go a little slow down his run. He runs onto that ball, and it's so perfectly weighted by Dwight McNeil, and he gets to finish it with his first touch. He doesn't have to take a touch, which could lead to it being a horrible touch or allow the goalkeeper time to get the angle sorted. He gets to run onto that perfectly, and he finishes it brilliantly, and the game is won. And what an amazing away end that must have been to being in today. I mean, there's no pressure on us. The sun is shining, 3:00 on a Saturday, and that away end gets exactly what it deserves. An Everton victory, and we are still unbeaten away from home under David Moyes, which is absolutely incredible. No, we're not actually. We got beaten the derby, didn't we? What am I talking about? I'm actually lying. I'd blocked out the away that game. Let's just say, apart from the Merseyside derby, we're still away. We're still unbeaten away. It feels like we're unbeaten. It's a brilliant end, and we've got the 3 points, and we're 38 points. And if anyone had any worries or anything, obviously those worries are ended. It's just a perfect. What's even better about it, right? What's even better about it is no one can sit there and go, it's a smash and grab. No one scouts would say that, but no Forest fans can say it's smash and grab. We dominated the game. We absolutely dominated the game all over the pitch today. Defensively, we were better. Midfield, we were better. It was just the final third that let us down till the moment where it really, really mattered. And that's brilliant, because also is that we know exactly where we need better. We know exactly where we need to improve. Obviously, we need quality all over the pitch, but we know in those final third areas, that's where we need improving. And that's good to know, isn't it? It's not something that we haven't known, but we're solid at the back. Midfield needs a number 8, but that's what, as I said, that's why he loves Decore, and that's why Dice loved Decore. Maybe that's where Lampard went wrong by not loving Decore. is that he is still running for you in the last minute. And Idrissa Gana Gueye, listen, if there's anyone who's had any issues over Idrissa Gana Gueye not getting a new contract, go and watch the last 2 minutes of that game. And if anyone out there, and I know there's a couple of people, because I've heard them say it on the radio, if there's a couple of people who don't believe Idrissa Gana Gueye deserves a contract, then that's it right there. Does the core deserve a contract? Well, that's a different matter entirely, isn't it? It's not just about scoring a winning goal in the last minute of a game. It's a lot more than that. You have to talk about the whole thing. And I'm sure, listen, Everton will make a decision on him whether they feel like he deserves another contract. It won't be anywhere near the contract he's on now, and it shouldn't be anywhere near he's on the contract now. But they'll make that decision. Listen, that's up for them. If they think he's got another year in him or another couple of years in him, they'll have to make that. But it can't be anywhere near the same kind of money. But as I said, it's the final third when we need sorting out. I don't think Broja showed some nice little touches today, but he can't play up front on his own. He comes too deep. He doesn't stretch them enough. And I thought better when he came on, just put them under a little bit more physical pressure, let's say. And to be fair, the subs sort of worked today. They all sort of worked. McNeil, of course, getting an assist is massive. And that's another big threat off the bench. And the manager's put him on the right. If he was going to ever start on the right, he's going to have to improve his right foot. We all know that. But you can see that coming inside. Really, McNeil should be a right winger. He should be a right winger by in the modern game. McNeil should be a right winger because he's all left foot. But has he got enough of a right foot to play there? Well, at the moment, you'd probably say no. And he hasn't got enough pace. But he's definitely an option. And as I said, that ball is either absolutely unbelievable or it's a little bit lucky because of the defender. But I'm going to say it's unbelievable. It's an unbelievable pass. And he's got the assist. So we're up to 38 points. By the way, the bookings, the referee, not just the two penalty shouts, but the bookings, like Branthwaite is never a penalty, never a booking, and the Corey's isn't a booking, and yet some of their players had 3 or 4 fouls and nothing happened to them at all. So I find the referee wasn't great today either, and like certainly Branthwaite had played, to play for that long with a yellow card did really, really well. And the one, by the way, he body checked their player, behave. He just blocks him off. It's nothing. It's not our fault that the kid is 5'2", smaller than Baz. I think McNeil could be a left back. But listen, he's another option, isn't he? I think a few people were disappointed today about maybe the changes as well. A couple of people I spoke to before the game were a little bit disappointed in the changes, not being a little bit more open. Nathan, thank you for the super chat, my friend. You haven't said nothing, but thanks for the super chat. Being a little bit more open to like Schmitty starting, or being a little bit, I don't know, maybe leaving Timmy the Boonham in or whatever, and then but the manager's still got to pick teams. This was like my argument the other week on the show, which I got loads of stick for. But this is my argument: is the manager still has to pick teams to win games of football, doesn't he? We've just won and we're all feeling amazing. This is the conundrum with football, isn't it? We're all feeling amazing because Everton have just won, and we'll all feel amazing for the rest of the week going into the City game. We're up to 38 points. We just won another game, and we're all feeling amazing. And if we'd lost today, yet 2 or 3 players had been given, 70 minutes, say, just to see how they get on, and you lose. You don't come out after the match and go, well, at least we, at least we got to see this player and that player. That's the fickleness, isn't it, of football fans? That's the fickleness of all of us as football fans. We want to see we want to see players given a chance, young players given a chance, but we also want to win games of football, and that's where it must be. That's where it's really difficult to find that balance, isn't it? We all want to see wins, but we want to see young players given a chance. That's football, isn't it? That is football in a nutshell. Um, and I think the manager is. I think the manager is finding that balance because he is giving players an opportunity. He did start Brozier today. He did play Irabunum last week. But he's got to win a game of football, and that's, as I said, that's where he earns his money. He keeps on harking on about not being harking on. Like that sounds like he's being a knobhead, but he's not. Keeps talking about having to be safe, which I think if Ipswich lose tomorrow, we are mathematically safe, aren't we? I think if they lose tomorrow, I think, yeah, because it's 18 points, isn't it? He has to pick a team to win games and find that balance. And I think, he did play Brozier today. Joker on the Super Chat says, great win today. Could have been 3 or 4, to be honest. Could have been if we had our shooting boots, mate. He did start Brozier today, so he did make a change. All right, well, he can't start Schmitty and Brozier, and he doesn't. It's noticeable that, again, he seems to. Doesn't seem like he's too keen on Schmitty, or maybe he thinks Schmitty needs more game time, or maybe he feels like Brozier's the one he has to look at right now because he's going back, whereas Schmitty's our player. Also, with Carlos Alcaraz, you've got to look at the situation of 9 games start activates us having to buy him. Well, maybe he hasn't made his mind up yet and thinks, right, well, I'll start him in the home games. I'll play him against Ipswich. I'll play him against Southampton. I don't want to activate the night. I want him to play in them games. Or if Decore's fit, then he's starting. The manager's got to be very careful because if he doesn't want to activate Carlos Alcaraz if he doesn't feel like he's 100% wants him. So if there's a player who's fit, then he'll play him. So he is making changes. He is looking at other players, but he's just not doing it all in one game. So he looked at Irabunum last week. He's getting an idea. He got an idea. He looked at Patterson. He said he wanted to look at Patterson, got an opportunity. But what he's not really doing is he's not changing them for changing's sake. He brought Irabunum in because Garner wasn't great against Liverpool, but probably was tired against Liverpool. He brought Patterson in because Michalenko was injured. He's brought Brozier in today because he's probably thought, well, Beto hasn't scored in 5 games now or whatever it is. So therefore, I've got an opportunity to look at Brozier. And that's the way he's going to do it, I think. That's the way it looks like he's going to do it. He has to win games of football. We demand he wins games of football. Let's remember that. We demand that as football fans, as Everton supporters, that he wins games of football. And he knows that. And he'll be looking to win every single game as we go on. City next week will be tough, seeing how they've turned around today. Then we go to Chelsea. Chelsea, I am not really worried about whatsoever. And then come, 3 games where you look at it and go, big opportunities. Ipswich, Fulham, and Southampton. And he will make changes. I'm sure Carlos Alcaraz will start games. I'm sure McNeil will start games. I'm sure maybe Schmitty might even start a game. So, but doesn't it feel great? Doesn't it feel great that we've won that game today? We're climbing the table and we've got a little bit away from West Ham, and we've gone above Spurs, and we've put pressure on them to win their games, and we're just trying to climb, and we've got away from Wolves. We want to be climbing the table and getting money at £2 million for every position and finishing the season strongly as we leave Goodison Park. That's what we all want. So absolutely brilliant performance today. You know, a team who are in third place trying to get the Champions League, and we've gone to their ground and we've dominated them as far as I'm concerned. And I don't think they can have any issues with what we've done today. As I said, it wasn't smash and grab. It was a much deserved 3 points. Simple as that. There you go. There you go. Right. Happy days. I will be back in a little bit to do my player ratings. We can all enjoy the rest of the weekend. I can go the tip. I actually have to go the tip. But I can go smiling. There you go. Glenn, what are you saying there? Glenn, Dominic Calvert-Lewin will be back, my friend. He will be back. You watch. He'll play. He'll still play. So I'm just holding up my mug because it's amazing. Glenn, it's just another tip run, mate. It's just we had like literally cleaning our house out, top to bottom. Literally top to. There will be picks. There's always tip picks. I always take tip picks and I put them in our little 1878 WhatsApp group. There's always picks. There might be another video. There might be a video as well, but that probably be tomorrow. I think it'll be tomorrow. I'm gonna chill for the rest of the day because I always have stuff to do. Got my player ratings video to do, and then I'll have his press conference to sort out as well. So there will be tip picks or a tip video. So it's probably be tomorrow though. We're going all Stacey Solomon in our house. That's what it is. See, cleaning our house out top to bottom. It's that time of year, isn't it? It literally is a spring cleaning. It's literally a spring cleaning. We're getting rid of everything. No sentiment. Just cleaning it all out. Top to bottom. Getting rid of all kinds. And yeah, there you go. So that will be tomorrow. That will be the big stuff tomorrow. So make sure you stick around for the player ratings. I'm not going to be too long, if I'm honest, because I just want to get it done. Make sure to check out Baz's videos as well. And it's been good talking to you all. I'll see you in a little bit. Don't forget to subscribe, please. We want to get to that 100,000. Let's get to 99,000. Vinted, my missus sells loads on Vinted, and she sold so much that she managed to get a very, very posh, expensive bag when we went to Paris. That was all her money. I've got loads of gear. Just fine. I've got loads of gear I found, right? That is like, that I'm going to offer to classic sports shirts, not classic football shirts. So not Everton gear, but I've found some top gear, like Real Madrid training gear from like 20 years ago, which I think is worth a fortune. I found loads of stuff, so I'm gonna send that over for evaluation from classic football shirts. And they won't give me as much money as probably what if I tried to sell it, but on eBay or stuff. But I can't be asked. But I'm not gonna sell any of my Everton gear ever. But yeah, so I found some boss training, like the training gear when Beckham played for them and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm gonna send it to classic football shirts and get a sell a load of it. Right, subscribe, like, share. Join us over on Toffee TV Premiere. Link is in the description. QR code's coming up in a minute. See you in a minute. Bye, everybody.